Good Monday morning. Happy Memorial Day. I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert. We have a First Alert weather day, not for today though, for Thursday in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. We've certainly seen a lot of that this spring. Right now on the radar, just a few light sprinkles in the Kittitas and Yakima valleys. We're going to end up being mostly dry today for lower elevations, but it will be a very breezy / windy day out there, especially in the Kittitas Valley, where we're already seeing gusts upwards of 25-30 miles per hour. And we're also seeing some similar gusts for places like Lexington and Heppner and Umatilla and Hermiston. And again, we'll continue to see more of that throughout the rest of the day. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. Your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations, like I said, a mostly dry day. We'll see a decent amount of sunshine. Not as warm as yesterday, but seasonal high temperatures for this time of the year. Here's the bottom line for the forecast. Lower elevations, again, dry for today, but also breezy and windy, especially in the Kittitas Valley. High temperatures turning very summer-like a little bit later this week. We'll have another round of strong winds on Thursday. That's why we're going with the First Alert weather day. So I'll tell you about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
And right now on Good Morning Northwest, over the weekend, a search warrant led to several arrests. What investigators say was being dealt from a local home and who was caught inside. Plus, a late-night rollover on Highway 12 led to a 17-year-old needing to be airlifted. We're going to let you know what troopers are saying, what happened just east of Pasco. And nearly 200 jobs on the line in Yakima, while a local education provider is planning a mass layoff this summer. All of this and more on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott. Jessica has the morning off, and we want to start this morning with some developing news out of Benton County. Fire District 6 responding to a fire near Patterson. It was a wildfire Sunday evening that broke out. It was reported just before 7 p.m. Officials believe it may have been sparked by lightning. Crews from multiple agencies were all called in to assist. As of right now, details do remain limited. No injuries or damage have been reported to anything in the surrounding area. But do stay with us as we continue to follow up on this wildfire. We'll keep you updated as well. And also this morning, police in Kennewick have arrested a 60-year-old man accused of dealing drugs from his house. Officers say they got a tip about possible drug activity at a home on East 4th Avenue, identifying the homeowner as Jay Ellers. Well, after following up on the information, police got a search warrant at the residence, and that's when they got in and found multiple people inside. And they tell us that a number of people inside that house had outstanding warrants. Officers say narcotics and other evidence were recovered during that search. And Ellers was arrested for delivery and sale of a controlled substance and booked into the Benton County Jail. Taking you to Kittitas County now. That's where the sheriff's office concluded a human trafficking operation targeting sex trafficking networks within the county, and it led to the arrest of 2 men. Kittitas County Sheriff's Office saying a 34-year-old Cleella man and a 35-year-old Kent man knowingly transported women for sex work and profited from it. It continues to be an ongoing investigation. The operation was in partnership with the Ellensburg and Othello police departments with the goal of offering a way out for those who were being trafficked. Kittitas County is also asking the public to report any activity that they suspect could be related to human trafficking. A rollover crash has sent 1 person to the hospital over the weekend. Crash happened along Highway 12, about 10 miles east of Pasco. It happened Saturday night. State troopers say that the vehicle was headed westbound when it veered off the road and rolled several times. The 17-year-old driver was airlifted to Cadlick for treatment. Fortunately, the 3 other passengers inside that vehicle were not injured. And this happens just as one of many traffic collisions that were reported just over the last week. State officials reminding drivers to take it slow with the 100 Safest Days of Summer campaign making a comeback. Joint effort from Washington State Patrol and Department of Transportation, and as well as the Traffic Safety Commission. It aims to cut down crashes at this time of year, which can be very busy and dangerous. The summer months are the most dangerous on Washington roads. Just last year, more than 200 people were killed in crashes between June and September, many involving speeding. With more people traveling, troopers say the risk only goes up.
Students are out of school, there's a lot of celebrations, there's families that are traveling on our roadways throughout Washington, and we see an increase in traffic with that. comes an increase in collisions. So it is the 100 deadliest days of the year for us.
Washington State Patrol says that drinking and driving is also a year-round issue and is one of the biggest dangers that they continue to see on Washington roads as well. Taking it to Grant County, where the fire district there had their hands full yesterday responding to 3 separate fires across the area. One of those fires broke out at a Grant County dump site, prompting a joint response with the Grant County Public Works Department. Thanks to their coordinated efforts, that fire is now under control. No injuries reported. The cause, though, still under investigation. And in Yakima, a home there went up in flames. Take a look at these photos sent into the newsroom. This was from the West Valley Fire Rescue. It happened on Barrett Road. Crews had to shut down the road and ask people to stay away while they worked to get that fire put out. West Valley Fire Rescue says that they were able to get those flames out, but they did need to keep that road blocked for a while afterwards while they continued to monitor it. 6:06, staying in Yakima now, and a follow-up on a longtime early childhood education provider facing major layoffs, potentially leaving hundreds of families without childcare. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert says it's due to a bigger cut in funding that stretches as far as Washington, D.C.
EPIC, or Enterprise for Progress in the Community, has supported kids and families in Yakima for over 45 years through the Head Start program. But now, nearly 200 staff could be out of work by the end of June if new funding doesn't arrive. The nonprofit helps more than 1,000 low-income children across the region, and 15% of those kids are homeless, while 14% live with disabilities.
Kids that went through the Head Start program were more likely to be ready for school. They were less likely to need special ed services, more likely to graduate high school and college.
But EPIC, one of just 3 subcontractors running Head Start programs in the state, still doesn't know if it'll receive renewed federal funding, and without it, they've already warned employees.
They haven't received notice yet of whether or not they're going to be able to get their Head Start grant. And as a result of that, they've had to let their staff know, hey, in another month, it's possible you'll be out of a job. And, not only would they be out of a job, but kids will lose access to Head Start. And of course, those families would lose access to childcare so they can go to work.
Lawmakers like Senator Patty Murray say they're fighting to reverse the sudden federal cuts that left programs like EPIC scrambling for answers.
We are using those stories and helping all of those organizations outside of us who are filing claims to get the courts to stop these illegal confiscation of funds. So a lot of this is going to be in lawsuits.
And Ryan says it's not just childcare at risk, it's critical support services that thousands of Washington families rely on.
A lot of families that depend on Head Start, they also depend on Medicaid, and in our state, Apple Health. And they also depend on basic food assistance. And the Trump administration and Congressman Newhouse and Congressman Baumgartner was another support of this. They just passed the House budget bill, passed by 215-214, very close vote. It cuts 200,000 people from our Apple Health program in the state of Washington. 200,000 people would lose access.
And if EPIC doesn't get that funding, families across Yakima could be left scrambling for care just weeks before the school year starts. Yakima, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
EPIC has until June 30th to find out if that federal grant funding will be renewed. And speaking of state legislation, Governor Bob Ferguson has ordered all Washington state and U.S. flags at state facilities to be lowered to half staff this Memorial Day. In a directive issued last week, the governor says flags should be lowered today in remembrance of those who lost their lives while serving in the armed forces. Flags should remain at half staff until noon or be returned to full staff tomorrow morning. Still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A Seattle protest turning to chaos over the weekend. Coming up, what sparked the violence and the mayor's response that followed. Also, we'll check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth, giving you that live look outside this morning from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima. He's going to have your first alert forecast on this Memorial Day. We're back right after the break.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life. Because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Yakima Federal Savings and Loan was founded in 1905 and has kept your money safe and sound for 120 years. Your deposits at YakFed help people buy homes and build strong communities. We believe in giving back, proudly supporting local events and organizations that make a difference where we all live and work. With 10 local branch locations, we're committed to our communities and keeping your money secure. Experience the difference. Call, click, or come by and make the switch today.
70th anniversary savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. Stop in, pick up a book, and our employee owners are here to help you save. Pepsi brand 12 packs are buy 2 get 2 free. Save $5 on World Kitchen Jerky. MD 8-roll bath tissue is just $5.99. Bagged Nutrinuggets dry dog food is $5 off. And save with our Memorial Day paint sale. Save up to $10 per gallon with our digital rebates. Save through June 2nd with open house savings at Bi-Mart since 1955.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking was proud to take part in the Great American Flag Swap. Our commitment to quality craftsmanship, superior service, and community support is a reflection of our love for this great nation. Rick's Fencing and Decking thanks you for joining us in honoring our veterans and all who serve.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of this morning's temperatures. We start off in Kittitas County, mid-40s up towards Snoqualmie Pass, but we're in the mid-60s right now in Ellensburg, 60 in Vantage. Then in the Yakima Valley, these temperatures spanning from 58 to 62. In the lower Columbia Basin, also upper 50s to low 60s, even some mid-60s up towards the Hanford site. Then for the Blue Foothills, all of us in the 50s, all of us in the 40s up in the Blue Mountains. Here is your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket weather for this morning. Then I think as soon as 10 this morning should be t-shirt weather. We'll hold on to that all throughout the day in spite of it being cooler as opposed to yesterday. So for today, showers, if they do happen for the rest of the day, in all likelihood, it would be up in the mountain ranges. Otherwise, it's going to be a dry day, partly to mostly cloudy skies. Highs cooler in comparison to yesterday, but still seasonal for this time of the year, as we'll have 70s and 80s for lower elevations. Then for tonight, should be dry. Skies beginning to really clear out, especially for lower elevations. Temperatures in the 40s for the lower terrain, 30s and 40s up in the mountains. And something I didn't touch on for today, the wind gusts. They are going to be very strong, especially in the Kittitas Valley. I'll tell you just how strong coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:14 now, and the Seattle Police Department arrested 23 people on Saturday at Cal Anderson Park when counter-protesters clashed with a religious rally. Alex McClune has the details.
Chaos at Cal Anderson Park. People taken to the ground and bikes used to protect police.
Come back and you're going to jail.
Officers made multiple rounds of arrests Saturday afternoon after speakers took to the stage for a religious event.
Hey, listen, it's going to be a little fun today. If you're down for fun, you came to the right place.
The Mayday USA Tour describes itself as a faith-based initiative. offering resources for people who decided on abortions and are part of gay relationships. A Seattle police spokesperson says counter-protesters threw items at officers while we saw others take aim at the stage and its crowd.
Move back! Move back!
Police say multiple people were taken into custody for assault and property destruction a half hour into the May Day USA tour. Earlier in the afternoon, organizers with the Seattle Democratic Socialists of America say they came to counter anti-queer messaging and say they invited multiple groups.
Well, I think coming to this park was really provocative, you know, and so they're going to get met with resistance.
Cal Anderson was Washington's first openly gay member of the state legislature. Other groups who were invited say they came to support the city's LGBTQ+ community.
I would say the queer community here is resilient. It's a very strong community. We have each other's backs.
The stage set in the middle of the park, it's featured speakers hit other major cities like Los Angeles, Houston, and Miami. Officers on bikes swept in minutes after the speaker Ross Johnston took the stage.
Now, in a statement following the incident, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell said, quote, "Seattle is proud of our reputation as a welcoming, inclusive city for LGBTQ+ communities, and we stand with our trans neighbors when they face bigotry and injustice." All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we're going to check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He has your first alert forecast. We gave you that beautiful live look outside this morning from our Dust Devils camera in Pasco. It is 6:16 on this Memorial Day, and we are back after the break.
At Prosser Memorial Health, we believe in providing expert care close to home. That's why we're proud to offer urology services with Dr. Joshua Spinlove, a board-certified urologist at Prosser Urology Center. From prostate health to kidney stone treatment, Dr. Spinlove brings over a decade of experience and advanced personalized care to serve patients throughout the region. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Spinlove, call the Prosser Urology Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
It's the Jayco Summer Escape event at Broadmoor RV, June 6th through the 8th. Our biggest sale of the year is here, like the J-Flight SLX 170 BHW, just $15,990, or the spacious SLX 260 BHW for only $23,990. Family owned and family focused, we're here to help you go make memories in a brand new Jayco RV, only at Broadmoor RV, June 6th through the 8th. Don't miss it.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Fly with us over the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club and their world-famous floating green for a spectacular adventure.
It's an intimidating hole, there's no question, but we just say take a deep breath, play the proper club, and you'll get on there.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
It's game time.
You want to win it, you got to spin it.
I'm like dialed in.
Who would ever leave a show and then go, never mind.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, new Tuesday and Wednesday on ABC.
Honoring men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Again, Thursday going to be a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts between 55 to 60 miles per hour. We will get to that in a minute. But first for today, I wanted to show you Futurecast radar. Could have a few sprinkles for lower elevations this morning, but for the rest of the day, the main chances of rainfall are going to be up in the Cascades and the Blues. The rest of us should be dry. All of it's going to be dry after 4 p.m., but during the morning, while we have those little ticky-tack shower chances, you could track the showers yourself on the First Alert weather app with that interactive radar feature. Of course, you could download that for free in the App Store or on Google Play. Wind's going to be a big factor for today, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts up around 50 miles per hour, and that peak time frame going to be from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. High temperature is going to stay mostly normal for today and tomorrow, and then very summer-like from Wednesday through Sunday, as we'll keep it about 5 to 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. So that means touching 90 degrees at least in the Tri-Cities for Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, if this forecast holds true. But that little dip in temperatures for Thursday and Friday, because of this, is we'll have a storm system that's going to pass through, bringing low-end chances of showers for the foothills and mountains. That's definitely not going to be the biggest impact from this wave, though. It's going to be in the form of more very gusty conditions on Thursday. Peak gusts at this point up around 60 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So this is why we're going with the First Alert weather day on Thursday for the Kittitas Valley. Could have some spotty power outages, down tree limbs, and difficult travel for high-profile vehicles, especially on I-90 and I-82. Here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Still feeling spring-like for today and tomorrow, but very summer-like for Wednesday and beyond. In Yakima, highs in the 70s and 80s for Monday and Tuesday, 80s and 90s after that, with a windy day set for Thursday. In Ellensburg, windy today, but of course even stronger winds are poised for Thursday. It looks as if Sunday could be a windy one as well. In Hermiston, windy for the holiday, windy for Thursday as well. Otherwise, this forecast will turn into a hot and dry one over the next week. Then for Walla Walla, a mostly dry forecast with warming high temperatures, although we can't rule out a small shower chance for Thursday.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer. Coming up, we'll take a deep dive into the movies that kicked off the box office over the weekend. It's all coming up in your entertainment headlines after the break.
Discover the joy of music with a new Yamaha piano from Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos, where elegance meets opportunity. For a limited time, enjoy 24 months of 0% financing on qualified new Yamaha pianos. From timeless grands to cutting-edge digitals, Yamaha delivers beauty, precision, and playability. Visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos in the Uptown Shopping Center in Richland, or call 509-567-3113. Life's more fun when you know how to play.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
When uncertainty falls upon your freedom, you need an unwavering champion. We're dedicated to not just tipping the scales in your favor, but also delivering an unwavering and relentless defense. With over 5 decades of experience, we'll fiercely defend your freedom and secure the most favorable outcome. Your best defense, Quantum Legal.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. We'll leave your AC in better condition than we found it, and you'll be happy. Call now to schedule your maintenance appointment. It's the thing to do every spring. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
The Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Welcome back, 6:24 in your entertainment headlines this morning. Memorial Day weekend is traditionally the beginning of summer, and it definitely felt like it yesterday.
Definitely.
And of course, summer movie season as well. So if this holiday weekend is any indication, it's going to be a pretty hot summer at the box office.
So David Daniel has our early estimates for the top 5 films in theaters. So take a look.
And what is it we supposed to be doing?
Being kind to one another.
Sinners made $8.8 million for 5th place and a domestic total of $259 million. Thunderbolts fell to 4th place with $9.2 million. It's at $174 million domestic. Final Destination's Bloodlines dropped to 3rd in its second weekend out, earning $19.7 million for a 10-day domestic total of $95 million.
Your team has been betrayed, Ethan.
Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, the last hurrah for the Tom Cruise franchise, opened in 2nd place with $63 million, the best debut in series history.
Oh my God, control him. I'm trying.
Lilo and Stitch led the way. The live-action remake of the animated film made $145.5 million, the best Memorial Day weekend opening ever. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You gonna see any of them?
Probably not. Not to be a party pooper.
Not even Lilo and Stitch? You
No.
love them.
I love the animated original, so I'll just
You're gonna stick with
I'll just ride with that one.
Stick with the OG.
Yeah.
All right. Well, estimates for the 4-day weekend put Lilo and Stitch at $183 million.
And Mission Impossible at $77 million, leading the biggest Memorial Day weekend box office in history. Wow.
Do you actually think it'll be the last one?
The last Mission Impossible? No way.
No way.
This is number 9?
I don't even know.
He's coming back. He's coming back for another one.
Or someone will, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we will take a look at some local events that are honoring our fallen heroes today. Plus, we have some road closures you need to look out for as well this week. It's all coming up after Tech Bites.
You'll have to find a new way to watch Netflix. The streamer is ending support for some first-generation Fire TV devices, which were introduced more than a decade ago. Customers have until next week to upgrade their device or lose access. There are plenty of tech deals this Memorial Day, including $50 off the newest iPad at Amazon and Walmart. You'll save $30 on a JBL Clip 5 Bluetooth speaker at Amazon and Best Buy, and the Sonos Roam 2 is $45 off on Amazon. And finally, a scene straight out of a sci-fi movie. Researchers say during controlled tests, an OpenAI-created model refused to shut down even when explicitly told to. OpenAI has not commented on the findings. Being told to quit, maybe the AI bot was just having trouble processing. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on home insurance by checking Allstate first.
All right, Dad, you ready?
Like you know to check under the carpet first, before ripping it all out.
Hardwood in 3, 2, 1. It's okay. It's under the high time of year.
Yeah, checking first is smart.
You can put it back. I'm out.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Don't let congestion take over. Afrin No Drips. Wow. Ridiculously fast nasal congestion relief.
Wow.
The wow is real.
University of Maryland Global Campus believes in its students. You can get credit for life and job experience that translated to coursework and helps cut down the cost of school. UMGC helped me become a highly attractive candidate in the job market.
We think three-pointers should be called triple play.
And we brought in a basketball expert to support us.
Just former college and pro star Rob Sacre.
So, Rob, what do we call, one of these?
Triple play.
You know, shooting triple plays wasn't exactly my specialty.
Well, outside shooters are well outside our budget.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
Rob, how did you score?
Just like you, I'm working towards buying my first home.
I'm saving for my children's future.
Like you, I want financial tools that make my life easier.
At Hapo, we're more than employees. We're people just like you, and we understand what really matters.
Just like you,
we're planning for our future.
And I care about making a difference.
We are here to help you navigate life's milestones, big and small, because we're just like you. Join us at Hapo today.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. And they stay in excellent shape. Every Bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of Bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Knowing these laws sets my truck wreck team apart. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Hit by a big truck? Our team knows truck wrecks and how to win for you. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the Big Truck Heavy Hitter.
The Heavy Hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic, don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else. Ironic. Ironic. But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here on this Memorial Day for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Jessica has the morning off, and I just know she is regretting not being here for the epic 3-Degree Guarantee. You're just crushing it.
Thank you. Well, jackpot's up there. It's now been 31 days in a row that we've gotten the forecast correct. So let's go ahead and take a look at it.
No, you say we. No, we had nothing to do with it. You've gotten it correct.
Team effort, guys. Come on. All right. On Friday, I went with forecast high of 78 in Pasco Tri-Cities. I verified right at 78, so the jackpot went up to $775. So here are the stakes for today, going with the forecast high of 80 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 77 to 83, the jackpot's going to hit $800. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page. You can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Now what's on your screen is a familiar sight. First alert weather day for Thursday, not for today, it's for Thursday in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. We'll talk about that at length coming up a little bit later in the show. But first, for this Memorial Day morning, a few sprinkles in the valleys. Elsewhere, it's looking like it's pretty dry. Now, we could have showers in the mountains for later in the day. Also, wind gusts going to be ramping up throughout the day, especially in the Kittitas Valley after 2 p.m. But even for right now, peak gusts around 30 miles per hour. They're between 15 to 25 miles per hour in the lower Columbia Basin, the Bluefoot Hills, and the Blue Mountains. We'll have widespread breezes and winds across the map today, but they're going to be the strongest in the Kittitas Valley. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains. Your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Clouds to start off this morning, should have mostly sunny skies at the peak of daytime heating. In fact, we'll have normal high temperatures for Memorial Day, and I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of this Memorial Day forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. Well, we begin this half hour of news as we look ahead today. The city of Pasco is inviting the community to come together for its annual Memorial Day ceremony at City View Cemetery. The event is dedicated to honoring the men and women who gave their lives in service to the United States. Sergeant Major Walter Castilla Jr. will serve as the special guest speaker, joining Mayor Pete Serrano and Mayor Pro Tem David Milling. Now, this will all be happening again in Pasco. They'll be delivering their remarks there. Ceremony will also include a presentation by the American Legion Post 34 Honor Guard and the Tri-Cities Composite Squadron of the Civil Air Patrol. The event starts at 11 today, and it's free to the public and open for everyone. Traffic alert for you at 6:35. Bush Street will be temporarily closed this Wednesday in Walla Walla as crews perform private utility work. The closure will impact the stretch between Alder and Garden Street from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Local residents and pedestrians will still have access to the area. Emergency vehicles will not be able to pass through, and drivers in the area should plan ahead and consider some alternate routes for that day. Bringing new life to an historic aviation symbol at the Richland Airport, the Port of Benton is teaming up with a remarkable group of women pilots for this. Take a look. The Mid-Columbia chapter of the 99s is a group of women pilots, and they are refreshing and relocating the airport's 80-foot compass rose. It's an iconic symbol used by aviators. The 99s have been championing women in aviation through education, mentorship, and outreach. One of their enduring traditions, painting compass roses and airport identifiers across the country.
It's a signature project that the 99s do, and this is to help airplanes calibrate their compass. We had it surveyed so we know where magnetic north is and true north.
Now, this is the first Compass Rose project for the Richland Airport, and it is no small task. Up to 15 volunteers will contribute an estimated 150 hours to complete the design. Painting kicked off over the weekend, and they hope to have everything wrapped up and finished by tomorrow. All right, heads up for pedestrians in Umatilla. Taking you to Oregon now. The city's pedestrian bridge will close temporarily starting tomorrow. Contractors will be installing handrails and putting some final touches on the structure, all a part of the last phase of construction. Now, the bridge had a soft opening back in December, connecting the South Hill neighborhood to downtown Umatilla. The crews with Legacy Construction say the bridge should reopen by June 15th, weather permitting. This bridge marks a major step forward in the city's efforts to improve connectivity, safety, and recreation. It also plays a key piece into the Umatilla's larger Trail 2 project, which is part of the city and county's long-term River Trail initiative. 6:37, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Today is a day to honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and many businesses and organizations will be closed to honor that. Coming up, we'll find out which ones will be impacted today. It is 6:38, and we're back after the break.
Honoring men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Thinking of upgrading your kitchen? Don't miss your opportunity this Memorial Day at Fred's Appliance, your local veteran-founded, family-owned appliance expert since 1962. Say hello to Cafe Appliance packages, stunning pairing, and trusted features. With GE Cafe, you don't have to compromise style for function. Customize your kitchen to look the way you want with top-of-the-line finishes and looks. Build your GE Kitchen Cafe suite and save up to an additional $3,000 with mail-in rebate.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
Sundown M Ranch promotes patient-centered integrated care that focuses on the mind, body, and spirit. At Sundown M Ranch, the patient is the reason we are here. We take pride in our reputation of assisting individuals and family members through a difficult process with compassion, respect, and confidentiality.
Sundown M Ranch saved my life.
Last month, I celebrated 31 years of sobriety.
Sundown M Ranch. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Here comes the sun. Get moving with a new car from Overturf Kia. Find your ride with the new 2025 Kia Carnival LXS. Named best in class for cargo and passenger space. Now just $38,990. Plus, get 3.9% interest for up to 48 months. Overturf Kia at the base of the Blue Bridge in Kennewick.
Workers and the families of deceased workers who worked at the Hanford site are now eligible for compensation for diseases and illnesses. This may be in addition to compensation already being received. Smart Law will be hosting a Hanford Workers' Compensation educational dinner at their Kennewick office Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. To register, call 509-735-5555. Dinner provided. Smart Law, smart choice.
Apple Valley News Now is Pasco.
Apple Valley News Now is Zilla.
Apple Valley News Now is Benton City.
Our broadcast center may be in Kennewick, but Apple Valley News Now is everywhere.
From the Blues in the east to the Cascades in the west, one television station is everywhere you want us to be. We're Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Always on your side.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County, where it's going to be very windy for today, especially in the valley. Peak wind gusts out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour. Then in the Yakima Valley, these breezes out of the west, peak gust around 30 miles per hour. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies, and highs are going to be in the mid to upper 70s. In the lower Columbia Basin, pretty windy here. Winds out of the west, peak gust around 35 miles per hour. In spite of partly to mostly cloudy skies, we're going to be up around 80 degrees in the Tri-Cities, but cooler compared to yesterday. Then in the Blue Foothills, also pretty windy here, especially in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Peak gust out of the north and west around 40 miles per hour. High is going to be in the 60s and 70s in the foothills, 50s and 60s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Could have some showers in the mountain ranges for today, but lower elevations going to be mostly dry. Now let's talk about some fire field data. Today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, the 100th percentile would mean the driest vegetation since 2005. So we're up into the 65th percentile for today in the Cascades, the Kittitas Valley, the Upper Yakima Valley. That would be a normal categorization of dry for this time of the year. Now for Wednesday, which is going to be the hottest day of this week in all likelihood, we're going to be up into the 72nd percentile for the Cascades, Kittitas Valley, and Upper Yakima Valley. Past the 75th percentile, that's when we'd classify things as very dry. So we're certainly getting there. And to just underscore how hot and dry we're going to be, I'll have that extended forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 6:43 now, and today is Memorial Day. It's often known as the unofficial start of summer. The day is commemorated with parades, barbecues, pool parties, but the holiday also has a very somber moment as people honor the lives of U.S. service members who died while serving our country. Memorial Day is a federal holiday, so federal offices, schools, government buildings, banks, and a lot of other businesses around the area will be closed today. There will be no trading on Wall Street, no mail delivery. However, most retailers like Target and Walmart will still be open. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, your morning sprint. Everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert is going to be back with your full first alert forecast as we give you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. We're back right after the break.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
The magic continues when Alice steps into the $185,000 prize land at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Join in the madness with $16,000 in cash and prizes every Friday and Saturday, and a chance to multiply your prize up to $4,000 cash. Rack up entries with a multiplier on Mondays, and hurry, don't be late for a very important grand prize day. May 31st, 4 winners and someone wins $20,000 cash. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
In a world filled with accidents, the injured look to Mo, because Mo knows these guys are bulldog tough on personal injury and workers' compensation claims. Mo knows you can go to the other guys, but why would you? From back in autumn, Bulldog Tough.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles for you, right here in America. And we're committed to keeping our lineup affordable and free from new tariffs. That's why we've lowered MSRP on our best-selling Rogue and Pathfinder. So you can get the car you want, at the price you want, knowing Nissan is here for you at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Now get up to $6,000 total savings on Frontier, or get 0% APR for 60 months on Pathfinder.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariana Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
The Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Club. Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. For Thursday, we have a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But first, I wanted to touch on your Memorial Day forecast. As for this morning, could have a few sprinkles on the map, at least for lower elevations, but after this morning, looks like it's going to be a mostly dry day, at least for lower elevations. Now up in the mountains, we could have a few leftover showers, but I'm thinking in general it's going to be mostly dry out there. But in the meantime, if you want to track those little ticky-tack shower chances, of course you can download the First Alert Weather app for free in the App Store or on Google Play, and you can track all of that on the map yourself with the Interact Radar feature. Otherwise, today going to be pretty breezy / windy out there, just depending on your microclimate, but especially windy in the Kittitas Valley. Peak gusts today up around 50 miles per hour, especially after 2 p.m. That main time frame for today going to be 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., at least in regards to the strongest of the strong winds. High temperatures mostly normal for today and Tuesday, but feeling very summer-like for Wednesday through Sunday, as we'll keep it about 5 to 15 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means we're going to have a shot of touching 90 in the Tri-Cities for Wednesday and Thursday and Saturday and Sunday. Now, a little bit cooler for Friday, and that's because we have the storm system, if you want to call it that, but an atmospheric wave that's going to roll through here for Thursday into Friday, bringing us low in shower chances. That's not going to be the main impact. The main impact is going to be in the form, again, of some very strong wind gusts. That's why we're going with the first alert weather day for Thursday, specifically in the Kittitas Valley. Peak wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, but they could be up around 50 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. So spotty power outages, down tree limbs, difficult travel for high-profile vehicles on State Route 821, Interstate 82, Interstate 90. That's all going to be on the table. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Still feeling like spring for today and tomorrow, but very summer-like for Wednesday and beyond. In Yakima, highs in the 70s and 80s for Monday and Tuesday, 80s and 90s after that, with a windy day set for Thursday. In Ellensburg, windy today, but even stronger winds are poised for Thursday, and it looks as if Sunday could be a windy one as well. In Hermiston, windy for the holiday, windy for Thursday as well. Otherwise, this forecast will turn into a hot and dry one over the next week. Then in Walla Walla, a mostly dry forecast with warming high temperatures, although we can't rule out a small shower chance for Thursday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, we're taking you to the Indy 500 as our Michael Strahan sits behind the wheel of the official pace car.
This car is amazing. We are doing 105 miles per hour right now. Do I punch it coming out of this one? Not now. I got one more. I'm ready to punch this thing, but we are moving pretty good.
In a heart-pounding race littered with spinouts and collisions.
What on earth is going on at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway today? We have seen it all.
Spanish driver Alex Palau coming out on top, making history.
He has won the Indianapolis 500!
And coming up at 7 a.m., we're talking to the winner. With your GMA First Look, I'm Allison Cossack, ABC News.
They don't pay any money for the first lap. They don't pay any money.
For people who feel limited by the unpredictability of generalized myasthenia gravis, season to season, Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living and reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year. For a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Ask your neurologist about starting Ultomiris.
Now, the morning sprint.
6:52, time for your morning sprint. We start with your national headlines this morning. President Trump slamming Russian President Vladimir Putin over the weekend after Moscow launched its largest aerial attack of its 3-year war on Ukraine. Trump writing on social media that Putin, quote, has gone absolutely crazy. According to Ukraine's Air Force, Russia's massive, deadly overnight attack included dozens of missiles and nearly 300 attack drones. Although many of those were intercepted, officials say at least 12 people were killed across Ukraine, including children. Dozens more were injured. Trump, who spoke with Putin recently trying to negotiate a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia, said he was very surprised about the aerial assault. Russia's air assault also came despite the largest prisoner swap of the war taking place, with more than 600 Russian and Ukrainian prisoners exchanged over the weekend. In your business headlines this morning, right here in Washington, Seattle's famous Space Needle is getting a makeover. It includes a double-deck elevator, which also happens to be all glass. It's called the Skyliner. The Space Needle staff says it is the first of its kind in North America. The Skyliner elevator was added as a part of the privately funded $100 million modernization project. Early concepts of the Space Needle actually include a double-deck elevator. However, officials say there was no time or even technology to make that happen when the Space Needle was being built. 2 more double-deck elevators are scheduled to open by 2028. Now at 6:53, the top 5 local things you need to know this morning as you head out the door, taking you into Kennewick, where one man's behind bars this morning after police served a search warrant at his home on East 4th Avenue. Investigators say 60-year-old Jay Ellers was arrested on charges of selling drugs from his house. Several other people were in that house, had warrants. Ellers has been booked into the Benton County Jail. And a wildfire sparked on Sunday night near Patterson. Crews responded just before 7 to reports of smoke. Officials saying that lightning may have actually been to blame. Multiple agencies jumped into action to contain that blaze. So far, no word on any damage or injuries. Taking you to Yakima now, where nearly 200 early childhood education workers are facing layoffs. A warning notice shows that job cuts at Epic Centers begin June 30th. The organization says they serve families across the region, and now officials haven't said if any locations will be shutting down. And a rollover crash led to a 17-year-old being airlifted over the weekend. State Patrol says the car veered off U.S. Highway 12, rolled several times, came to a stop about 10 miles east of Pasco. We're told the driver was transported to Cadlick. 3 other passengers in that car were not injured. And a reminder from Governor Bob Ferguson, all U.S. and Washington state flags at public facilities will fly at half-staff this Memorial Day, and flags should remain lowered until noon to honor service members who died in the line of duty. All right, 6:55, trending now this morning. Researchers say that they've discovered a new dwarf planet at the edge of our solar system.
And they named it 2017 O-F-2-0-1, question mark?
Is the question mark a part of it? Maybe, probably.
It would fit right in.
Sounds like one of Elon Musk's child's names.
I think that's his 4th kid.
It must be, yeah, or his 14th.
Yeah.
So the team from the Institute for Advanced Studies School of Natural Sciences say the dwarf planet is one of the most distant visible objects in the solar system. Researchers say it is large enough to rival the size of Pluto.
Is Pluto a planet now?
I'm not sure.
When it was, and it wasn't, then it was, then it wasn't. I'm not sure. But scientists had previously thought no celestial bodies existed in an empty section of space beyond Neptune. But the discovery shows that part of space is not empty after all. Makes you think. Makes you think.
Doesn't it, though?
Yep.
What else is out there?
Are we alone?
I guess we'll find
Are we
out at
not?
some point. I don't know.
We'll find out in the next billion years.
Yeah.
If we make it that long.
Oh gosh, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the weather. It is Memorial Day, of course. You know, over the weekend, very warm. Today, a little cooler.
Yes, but it's still going to be warm. We're actually going to have normal high temperatures for today. It's just that yesterday was so warm that today, for people who like the hot weather, today is going to feel like a little bit of a letdown, not a wet down. It's going to be dry up there. But we are seeing some sprinkles on the map for this morning in Kittitas and Yakima counties. Could have some additional showers up in the mountains for today, but otherwise this is going to be the big impact. Very breezy and windy out there for today. Peak gusts could be up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s already for lower elevations, 40s up in the mountains. So for today, again, normal high temperatures for this time of the year. That means 70s and 80s for lower elevations. Bottom line for the forecast, breezy and windy for today, then turning pretty summer-like for Wednesday and beyond. Another round of very strong winds on Thursday. It's why we're going with the first alert weather day on Thursday in the Kittitas Valley.
All right. Thanks for that.
Of course.
Get outside and play. All right. Thanks for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find all of these stories and more up on our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Good Morning America's next.
Have a great day.